Hello. I'm Chris with the Legacy team. And today, being close to Christmas time, I wanted to make something that would make a pretty amazing gift. And so since we have the CNC machine, I decided that I wanted to make a hollow spiral candlestick, something that was a little more delicate, but really elegant and that really shows off the turning center. So this is going to be a hollow spiral candlestick. And this is what we're going to be producing today on Legacy's Turning Center. Now, the Turning Center for the Maverick E-Series is a modular option that can be added to that system at any time. So let's go see how this is done on that particular workstation. Before we can turn the actual candlestick holder, we needed to bore a 7/8 diameter hole 1.625 inches deep on one end of the spindle. This is actually for the candle to insert into the cup of the candlestick holder. To mount this blank properly in the turning workstation, we're going to be using a self-centering 4-jaw chuck on the headstock and a 60-degree cone to go in our tailstock as a live center. This will ensure that the blank is centered perfectly within the turning workstation. After making some adjustments so that we can easily get the blank in and out, we can secure this within the turning center and this is ready to cut. Throughout this entire cutting demonstration, we opened up the brushes of the dust boot so that you can see all the cutting action. In total, we're going to be using 5 different cutters to produce this spindle. The first cutter is our 1.25" surfacing cutter, and this is used to mostly turn it round and rough the material to the blank sizes that we need it to be in different sections. The reason we use this surfacing cutter instead of other traditional end mills is because the flat base of the carbide is not angled like a fishtail like other traditional tooling. This has actually been ground to be perfectly flat across the bottom, which gives us a almost polished surface when we are turning stock around or surfacing things flat with this tool. The next tool used here is called a classic plunge cutter. Now this is a classical design that gives us a round cove with a small flat and then a radius all tied into one single cutter profile. Now the type of cutting technique we're going to be using here and for the next couple of cutters is called a turning tool profile. This simply plunges while rotating the stock continually so that we can apply the shape of the cutter around the circumference of our spindle. We'll do the same turning tool profile technique with this 90-degree V cutter on both ends of the spindle. This gives us a nice transitional section at the top and bottom of the hollow spiral candlestick body. The next cutter is what actually shapes a majority of the spindle itself, and this is a 1.5" Barley Twist cutter. Just like the last 2 cutters, this cutter is also going to perform a turning tool profile on both end sections of where the spiral twist is going to start and end on this hollow spiral section. Afterwards, the twist factor can be applied, and this is going to be performing a 2-start Barley Twist, and each start is going to have multiple passes to ensure we minimize vibration and give us the smoothest cut possible. The final cutter is what's going to give this spindle a huge wow factor, and that is cutting the hollow effect for the hollow spiral candlestick. This is a 3/8 spiral cutter performing this through cut down the center of each start. All the cutters used throughout this cutting demonstration are from magnate.net. I'll put a link in the video description below that lists out each cutter that was used. To wrap things up, we're going to switch back to our 1.25" surfacing cutter. And this is going to turn a tenon on the bottom section of this spindle. Now the reason we switched back and did this cutting procedure last is so that we could have stability throughout the entire machining process, especially for the more delicate procedures like the Barley Twist and hollowing processes. Legacy's turning workstation is one of our customers' favorite features about our CNC machines. However, it wouldn't be any different from other turning workstations if it wasn't for our turning software that we developed that takes specific advantage of using cutter shape profiles like we saw today. This was all done in Legacy's Conversational Cam Pro software and made this process so fast and so simple to produce. And there we have it. She turned out beautiful. Now this only took about 15 minutes to produce on the CNC machine. And so again, even after all this time, after watching this done hundreds of times, it is absolutely mesmerizing to see that take place. Now, if you're interested in learning more about a Legacy CNC and what it can do for your woodworking capabilities or business opportunities, I recommend you visit our website at legacywoodworking.com. Now, if you have any questions and would like to talk to a CNC expert, you're always welcome to call 801-491-0010. You can also leave any comments or questions right below this video. If you'd like to see more cutting demonstrations of the CNC in action, similar to this, I recommend you click right over there. Don't hesitate to like, subscribe, check that notification box so that you can be notified when new videos like this come out. And as always, thank you for watching. And remember, Legacy solves more woodworking problems than any other CNC manufacturer in the industry.